Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel about Gem Info Guide about the study of the property about an origin of different gem. So and it is a study and learning knowledge about gems, specifically about the origin and properties of gems. Okay, as today's presentation is about the pearl. Pearl is a hard, glistening object produced within the soft tissue of a living shell, mollusk, or another animal, such as fossils, iconolorids, just like the shell of a mollusk. A pearl is a compost of calcium carbonate in minute crystalline form which has deposited in the concentric layers that are types, different types, colors, cultured. Pearls come from different sizes, shape, and colors. Perhaps the best loved gem of all time, pearls, both natural or modern cultured pearl, occur in a wide variety of colors. The most familiar colors are white and cream, light yellow brown. Black, gray, or silver are also fairly common, but the palette of pearl color extends to a very every hue. The main color body color is often modified by additional colors called overtones, which are typically pink, sometimes called rose, green, purple, or blue. Some pearls also show iridescence phenomenon known as orient. Cultured pearls are popular for beads, necklaces, and bracelets, or mounted in a solitaire, pairs on cluster for use in earring, rings, and pendants. Larger pearls with unusual shape are popular with creative jewelry designers. Natural pearls form in bodies or mantle tissue of certain mollusks, usually around a microscopic irritant, and always without human help of any kind. Cultured pearls are growth requires human intervention and care. Today, most of the mollusks used in the culturing process are raised or specifically for the purpose, although some wild mollusks are still collected and are used. The process by inserting a shell bead along with a small piece of mantle tissue into a host mollusk, round or mean of the same species, the mantle tissue grows and forms a sac around it and secrete nacre inward and onto the bead to eventually form a cultured pearl. If no bead used, nacre form around the individual implanted mantle tissue, pairs then harvested. Like a type of akuya, cultured pearls, most familiar type of saltwater cultured pearl to most people in the US and other Western markets like Japan and China produce akuya cultured pearl, and customers though as the classic pearl used for jewelry, especially single strand necklaces. A type of South Sea pearl, cultured pearl, can be white to silver or golden, depending the type of the oyster, large size or thick nacre, due to the growth period and growing condition, are factors contributing their value. Commonly sourced from Australia, Indonesia, and the Philippines too. The Tahitian culture pearls primarily around the first of the French Polynesian saltwater cultured pearl, referred to as black pearls, and have wide color range. They may be gray, black, or brown, and can have blue, green, purple, or pink overtones. And the last one, we have the freshwater cultured pearl, are commonly produced. They are one of the most popular pearl type among shoppers and jewelry designers due to remarkable range of shapes, size, colors, plus commercial availability at lower price points. China is leading sources for fresh water cultured pearl. So, we come now to the biggest and share to you the biggest pearl recorded natural pearl in the world is the pearl of the Puerto, often known as the pearl of Puerto Princesa. A Filipino fisherman discovered it in the sea of the Philippines island. It weighs 75 pounds and it is 2.2 feet long and wide. Toward back in 19 or found back in 1996. Other biggest known as pearl are La Peregrina. La Peregrina pearl become one of the Spanish crown jewel under the King Ferdinand V and was then later gifted to Mary Tudor, Queen of England. And the Hope pearl was a part of the gem collection of London banker Henry Philip Hope, after which it was named. The pearl is irregular in shape, in color, and the spot where it was attached to the shell is distinctly visible. This unique pearl has distinct dark green copper and bronze tint at one end, even though it is still classified as a white pearl. The Arcon Valley pearl is remarkable not only for its breathtaking size and appearance, but for its place in lives of notable figures throughout history, known as Pearl of Allah, and it changed hands between several Persian, Chinese, and Mongolian emperors before being gifted to Marco Polo. Also, the kind of pearl of Asia, the biggest, became the property of King of Persia after the siege of Delhi, and later given to the Emperor of China as a symbol of good fortune and happiness. Also named to reflect its fascinating journey and recognized as the largest natural nacreous saltwater pearl in the world. We have the Abalone pearl, that B. Peter Truong found his incredible pearl off the coast of Mendocino, California, and later made it into the Guinness Book of Record of the longest or largest abalone pearl in the world. Now, the Santawar pearl, known as the Danat Shetha Fatima bin Mubarak pearl, is said to be the largest gem pearl in the world, and being set as a torso in golden sculpture of a sanctuary, which is on display at the Abu Dhabi Hotel and referred to as Santuar Sculptural Jewel. Among the biggest hotels are also the Palawan Princess. This outstanding pearl was found in the Philippines off the coast of Palawan, an area known to serve as the habitat for giant clams, which certainly accounts for the high number of record-breaking pearl. Palawan. It has a baroque pearl, meaning that it is not spherical or even in shape, but is still quite valuable. Pearl of Las Tozu has named the Pearl of Allah since many people describe it as resembling a bearded, turban-clad man is unique for a number of reasons. It's non-nacreous fur that lacks of iridescence that most people associate with fur. Despite being calcareous, this is still considered to be the fur from scientific standpoint. This time, this brings me to end my presentation. So let me know your comment below, and don't forget to tune up again for upcoming videos. Then thank you for watching, and thank you for your loving support.